How to spot a shady dentist.
Open wide.
So you can Google this, which I actually have, and I will go over what Google is telling you, but I will also share what the internet is not telling you. Let's go. So number one, high pressure sales tactics. So sure, I agree with that. If a dentist is coming in hot with all these treatment things like you should do this and this and this and this, and not just telling you like you should do these things, but like really pressuring you to like sign papers and give them your credit card ASAP, that might be a telling sign that these guys are in it for the money and not really interested in, your best interest. Interested in your best interest. Yeah, however that saying goes. Next is fear-based tactics. So I'm gonna sort of agree and sort of disagree with that, because sure, if there's something that you need to get done and you're like hesitant about it, the dentist might try to kind of fear-monger you into it because they see the value and the urgency. I mean, I've done this to patients myself, like patients who really could benefit from a deep cleaning or even something like orthodontic treatment, and they're just really on the fence or they don't look motivated. I try to explain everything to them, like what's gonna happen if they don't, and that can sometimes come off as like fear mongering, but it's not always a sign that your dentist is trying to get your money and do what's best for them and not what's best for you. In fact, I would say I personally, when I use the whole fear mongering, it's more for the benefit of the patient. Trust me, I don't want to be cleaning your nasty gunky teeth, but I do want to help you achieve better oral health, and if that means getting your teeth cleaned and doing a deep cleaning, I do want you to understand the importance and the urgency. Next is poor communication. So again, yes and no. Some dentists are, God bless them, introverted and don't like to talk as much. Hopefully somebody in the office does like to explain things very clearly, but I don't think that's necessarily a sign that your dentist is not going to do a great job. I've worked with dentists who have a really poor bedside manner, but their work is spectacular. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, I've worked with dentists who have excellent patient rapport, bedside manner. They're just so bubbly and amazing. And then their work is like, I wouldn't want them anywhere near my mouth. So if you feel like you're receiving poor communication, don't automatically red flag it like, oh my gosh, this dental office sucks because they're not communicating clearly. Maybe just ask them, hey, I don't really understand what you're saying. Can you explain it to me differently? Or maybe have somebody else explain it to me. Oftentimes you'll see multiple dental professionals in one setting. Like you'll see the dentist, you'll see the assistant, maybe even a hygienist or like a front desk manager. You can ask any of those to clarify things for you. Lack of transparency. Okay, so this I would say definitely is a red flag. If the dentist is kind of being vague with you or not really sharing details, or if you're asking questions and they're just shutting you down and not answering your questions. On one side, yes, it can get pretty busy at a dental office. So if a dentist seems rushed, they might just have a full schedule, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing a bad job. If that is the case, I would maybe let them know like, hey, it seems like you're a little bit rushed. Maybe could I speak to someone else? I have a few more lingering questions about this. Give them an out. Maybe that'll be helpful for better communication. I don't know. Bottom line, lack of transparency is a red flag, but if the dentist just isn't answering your questions because he or she seems rushed, that might just be a scheduling thing, which all dental offices run into scheduling stuff. One patient is late, it sets the whole schedule off. We try to be accommodating. At some point, we even turn patients away like, hey, you are like 15 minutes late, this isn't happening. So there's always kind of two sides of the coin. Outdated office. Again, yes and no with this one. I've worked at some kind of older offices. The dentist is great. They really care about their patients. They do a good job. They started their business a long time ago. It is expensive to maintain all the dental equipment, and getting something brand new is just out of the question for some dentists. Did you guys know that most dental schools, by the time you graduate, you are like $500,000 in debt? Plus, if you're trying to start your own practice, you're looking at another several $100,000 business loan. So it's not all rainbows and butterflies. Some dentists really can't afford brand spanking new everything, so they work with what they got, but they do a good job. On the contrary, I've worked in dental offices that are brand new, and yes, it's a nice, clean feeling, and oftentimes it does correspond with like really good dental work as well, but sometimes they have to pay for all that, right? right? So they do shoddy work just to make some more revenue to cover all of these expenses. So again, two sides of the coin here. Next is discouraging a second opinion. This is definitely a red flag. If you're not sure about a certain treatment recommendation and you tell the dentist, hey, I'd like to get a second opinion on this, and if the dentist is like,
why? No, we gotta do this today.
that would be a red flag. A good dentist would be like, of course, absolutely. I want you to be confident in whatever we're recommending. So if that means getting a second opinion, go for it. Let us know what you decide, etc., etc. So definitely watch out for that. So this is kind of where the list ended on my Google search. A couple of things that I noticed the internet didn't provide. Number one is chain dental offices. Again, pros and cons to chain dental offices, but for the most part, I think of chain dental offices as like a rental car service. And the customers who rent the car out are the dental professionals. The analogy isn't perfect, but when you're renting a car, you take care of it to some extent because you don't want to get charged for XYZ. But like if you have to fill up the tank, you're going to fill it up with the cheapest gas you can find. You know, you're going to cut corners here and there. With chain dental offices, most of the employees there, they just come in there to get a paycheck. I'm sorry if you work at a chain dental office and that's not the case for you. I just know personally, anytime I've even temped at a chain dental office or I've been offered a job there, it's all about like the money. It's most of the time it's just been about how much will I get paid, any sign-on bonus, what's in it for me. So ultimately there's not really as much accountability. The dentists who work there, it's not their business, it's not their patients. I mean, there is some responsibility and liability potentially for patients, but for the most part, it's the chain dental office owners who are in charge of all of that, and the people who work there, the dentists, assistants, hygienists, they're all just employees there. There's no ownership, and oftentimes that shows in the dental work. The other thing I didn't notice on the internet was when a dental office offers all of the services in-house. Meaning if you need a root canal, oh, we can take care of it here. If you need an implant, oh, we can take care of it here. If you need orthodontic treatment, braces, Invisalign, oh, we have that here as well. That basically means that this dentist, maybe they have a few specialists working in-house with them, but the dentist is trying to keep all the revenue to themselves. Dentistry is actually a very broad subject, and there are a lot of specialties within dentistry which require a lot of additional training. So you have general dentists which do all the general work, but then anything specific like root canals can take years of extra education and experience. Periodontists, again, a lot more training than just general dentistry. Implantology, orthodontics, all of that requires a lot more education, a lot more time, and a lot more practice to be done correctly. So if a dental office offers for everything to be done kind of in a one-stop shop, I know that sounds convenient, but it really is not the best option. On the other hand, if a dentist says like, oh, you need this perio surgery, I am not qualified to do this, so I'm gonna refer you out to this periodontist, that's a sign that this dentist really does care more for you and not about, you know, getting all the money to themselves. And then lastly, something that just popped into my head is infection control. If you have a dentist or dental workers who they're not wearing a mask or God forbid, not wearing gloves and like reaching into your mouth or touching instruments, or oh my gosh, something dropped on the floor and they just pick it up and put it in your mouth. Ugh, get out of there quick. If a dental office is very lackadaisical about their sterilization and infection control, it definitely reflects on the dental work as well. So there you have it, how to spot a shady dentist. I would love to hear in the comments below how you guys have discovered potentially any shady offices, what you realized was kind of a red flag. I've actually always wanted to offer some sort of service, maybe as a brand, like to be able to go out to dental offices and do my own checks and like give a stamp of approval, but I have no idea how I would even go about that. But for now, at least, let's share in the comments what we've discovered about shady offices. Strength in numbers. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.